Good morning, children. Sairam. I hope you all are safe at your places and you all are doing your studies properly. Children, we were discussing about chapter number 2, components of computer system in our last class. Today we will continue with the same chapter. We had already discussed about input devices. Today we will start processing unit. Processing unit. Processing unit means the CPU. It is the brain of the computer where most calculations take place. It is the most important and complex component of a computer system. As we already know that it is the only processing unit of a computer system. CPU is responsible for controlling the operations of a computer and responsible for executing the instructions given to the computer. Now children, components of CPU: ALU and control unit. In our last chapter, chapter number 1, we already discussed in detail about both. So I will not discuss about ALU and control unit in this video. Next is memory. What is memory now? It is just like human brain. We are using our brain to store the information. Yes, same in computer. Memory is that place where we store the data or the information, or we can say the instructions also, which is given by the user or which is processed by the computer. Computer memory is the storage space in computer where data is to be processed and instructions required for processing is stored. The memory is divided into large number of small parts called cell. Each location or cell has a unique address which vary from 0 to memory size of -1. Now next is types of memory. Memory is primarily of 3 types. First one, cache memory. Second one, primary memory or main memory. We can also call the primary memory as main memory. Second, and the last one is secondary memory. Now in detail we will discuss about all 3 of them. First one, cache memory. First, what is cache memory? Cache memory is very high speed semiconductor memory which can speed up CPU. It acts as the buffer between the CPU and the memory. It is used to hold those parts of data and program which are most frequently used by CPU. The parts of data and program are transferred from disk to cache memory by operating system from where CPU can access them. Now the advantages of cache memory. Cache memory is faster than the main memory. Which memory? The primary memory. Okay. It consumes less access time as compared to main memory. It stores the program that can be executed within a short time of period. It stores data from temporary memory. Now, disadvantages of cache memory. It has limited capacity. Next, it is very expensive. Now, we will discuss about the primary memory. Primary memory is the main memory of the computer system. Accessing data from primary memory is faster. Why? Because it is an internal memory of the computer. The primary memory is the most volatile, which means data in primary memory does not exist if it is not saved when a power failure occurs. What is the meaning of this line? It means that if you have not saved your data, the data will not be there in your system when you will switch off the computer. Got it? Next one, types of primary memory. There are two types of primary memory, RAM and ROM. First we will discuss RAM, random access memory. Random access memory is also known as RAM, is generally as a main memory of the computer system. It is also called the temporary memory. The information stored in this type of memory is lost when the power supply to the PC or laptop is switched off. Why it is known as temporary memory, children? You know, it is known as temporary memory because when we are working on the computer system, that memory which we are using is known as the RAM. Okay, in RAM we can read and write. But when we are saving that work in the computer, then the memory we are using is known as ROM. Okay? Now, ROM. It is read-only memory. Read-only memory is permanent type of memory. Its content is not lost when the power supply is switched off. The computer manufacturers decides the information of ROM and it is permanently stored at a time of manufacturing, which cannot be overwritten by the user. Now, the comparison between RAM and ROM. Okay. Look, children. RAM, it is read-write memory. ROM, it is read-only memory. Next one, it used to store data that has to be currently processed by the CPU temporarily. And ROM, it stored the instructions required during the bootstrap of the computer. It is volatile, it is non-volatile. Volatile means the data will not be there if the computer is switched off, and non-volatile data will be there. Random access memory. The full form is random access memory. Read only memory. Next one, data in RAM can be modified. Data in ROM cannot be modified. RAM size vary from 64 MB to 4 GB. ROM is comparatively smaller than RAM. RAM is costlier than ROM. ROM is cheaper than RAM. Now, characteristics of primary memory. First, the computer cannot run without primary memory. Most important. It is known as the main memory. You can lose data in case power is switched off. It is also known as volatile. It is a working memory of the computer. Primary memory is faster as compared to the secondary memory. Now we will discuss the secondary memory. Secondary memory or the secondary storage devices are capable of storing high volume data is referred to secondary memory. It's slower than the primary memory. The memory is also called the backup storage or mass storage media. Secondary memory, children, are the memory which we provide from the outside to the computer. For example, pen drive, floppy disk, CD disk, DVD, etc. Now, characteristics of secondary memory. These are magnetic and optical memories. Secondary memory is known as a backup memory. It is a non-volatile type of memory. The data is stored permanently even when the power of a computer is switched off. It helps store data in a computer. The machine can run without secondary memory, slower than the primary memory. I hope, children, you are clear till this topic. We have covered the input devices and the processing unit. We will continue with the secondary storage devices in the next class. Till then, you complete this home assignment. There are 2 questions in home assignment. First one, define CPU. Second, differentiate between primary memory and secondary memory. Please complete this home assignment. Take care of yourself, children. Thank you, Saira.